So you're sitting on board your MSC cruise and you say to yourself, I know, let's try one of those expensive specialty restaurants on board.
Hello everyone down there in the video.
They're bound to be fun, they're bound to be nice, but are they? We've put 4 of the most well-known MSC specialty restaurants to the test. How did they do? Welcome back to the Ritzy Travel Guide. My name is Bill. It's great to have you along with us. And in this particular episode, we're going to be doing a whistle-stop tour of the specialty restaurants you'll typically find with an MSC cruise. Now, the ship we were on, the MSC Virtuoso, one of their latest mega ships, had 4 specialty dining rooms aboard, and we tried out all 4, and there are 2 of them we're going to be quite harsh on. The 4 that we're going to look at today are the Butcher's Cut Steakhouse, the Indochine Fusion Vietnamese, the Kaito Sushi and Teppanyaki, and the ever-popular Hola Tex-Mex. Now, you've got various ways of visiting these restaurants. You can either pay for them all a la carte as you go, picking items from the menu. We went for the 4-package option, which is all of them, but to be honest with you, it's not necessarily the best route to go down, and we will cover that. So off we go round the world, because these are all very different cuisines from these 4 restaurants. Which one should we head to first? We're off to Mexico land. It's the cheapest option of the lot. It's an absolute no-brainer to take their $17.99 package because that's all you can eat.
I smell that Mexican food lingering on the air. Well, before we sit down, let's just have a look at the decoration. Gleaming.
And as you walk in, for all the world, you could be in Disneyland. It's all themed up to the eyeballs with Mexican props and puppets and hats and wall art. For $17.99 is all you can eat tacos, quesadillas and burritos. Just tell them to keep bringing them till you pop.
These are interesting. Are they chopsticks or oh no, they're not. They're little cutlery items. Very dainty. Well, this is actually a huge table before we even start, and this is just item number 1 on the table. We've run out of table space. We're going to be rolling ourselves out. Initial observation, everything seems to be coated in cheese. Now, I don't mind cheese, but if you're not a cheese lover, you might think there's a lot of cheese. It's all gloopy, isn't it? It's like one of those chemistry experiments you saw. One of those plasticine things that were sold in the 80s. So, winners so far on the initial platter that came out. Liking that black bean paste. Pulled pork, are we liking that?
It is. A little bit salty, but still nice flavor.
Yep. Quesadillas, round 2.
Here pork quesadilla, cheese quesadilla, chili con carne quesadilla, chicken quesadilla.
Ow, 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 those are quite hot. Okay, quickly put those on the plate. Yeah, it's a droopy quesadilla. That's a good one, like that one. Okay, that's a thumbs up, the pork butt. I'm trying this. Okay, look. Let's peel it open. Hang on a minute. What's actually in there? I can't immediately detect anything in that one. Sorry, beef burrito?
Beef burritos.
Is in my imagination, or are all the ingredients exactly the same? They're just coming in slightly different receptacles.
If you have to choose between a burrito and a quesadilla, I would recommend a burrito because it's exactly the same thing. This one, at least you have like a proper filling.
Enchilada.
Thank you. This is very sweet. What is it? I couldn't tell you.
Exactly, what is it? It's smooth. It's exactly, that's the whole point. What is that? I have no idea what it is. I mean, it's like a sweet, stodgy, is it egg white? But it's just...
Very sweet. What is it?
What is it? It's cauliflower.
For $17.99, it's a bit of a bargain, and if you've got several sea days, and we did on our cruise, you're feeling like a change, you want to try something different, you can't go too far wrong with this Tex-Mex. Yes, a lot of the courses taste almost identical, but after you've had a couple of beers or a strong margarita, they're hoping you won't really notice that part. All that being said, what are we giving the Hola restaurant? It can't go wrong, really. We're going to give it an 8 out of 10. Okay, spinning the globe again, where should we go? It's Vietnam and the Indochine Fusion restaurant, which for me is a bit of a dustman's holiday because on and off I've spent half my life in Asia. In fact, as we record this video, I'm in the region. First thing to note, it's probably the most beautiful restaurant on the ship in terms of ID and decoration. Hats off to them, I think they've done an amazing job. Before we went in, earlier that day, I took a quick peep inside to take a look at how it feels. And it really is a beautiful restaurant. Love the look and feel of the place. So, a few hours later, we trooped in for our meal. With Indochine, as with the other specialty dining restaurants, you have a choice of buying it with the experience package, which gives you a discounted price, or you can just pay for it as you go along. If you pay for it for one evening only, it will cost you £49.
It's a very nice, elegant atmosphere in here. We've switched on our little table lamp. Why not? It makes it look more cozy. Look at those chopsticks, like the chopsticks with little metal ends. Weight to these chopsticks. And on top of that, we have a lovely view out to sea. A table with a porthole view.
This is the fresh Vietnamese roll. It has shrimp, pork, noodles, and some.
How about that? This is like a pre-appetizer just to get the evening going. We have some steamed spring rolls, some dipping sauces, and some fried spring rolls. I have a feeling we're not going to be short on food tonight. It's like in there. Comes the appetizer.
Yeah,
That's a large appetizer again.
the big portion.
Look at that calamari.
Gorgeous. That's
Alright,
Thank you. Remind me what that was?
Snapper carpaccio.
Snapper carpaccio.
So it's almost like sashimi, but sashimi has no dressing.
I sense an incoming main course. Ooh, that's a good-looking platter. Look at that.
Okay, here we go.
Is that hot, hot, hot?
Pork belly.
A hot pork belly. A meal in a bag.
Meal in the bag. Oh, big fish.
The fish came in a bag. What do you order, Freddie? Beef boat bag.
That's extra ginger dashi for the fish.
Thank you.
And we have baked aubergine. Another pork belly here. Desserts coming in. This is billed as a Vietnamese custard, which looks remarkably like a creme caramel.
So there we go, that was our meal in Indochine. We really enjoyed it. Fabulous atmosphere, great decor, and a lot of food. You're never ever going to go hungry when you go to Indochine. If there was one little proviso we have to add to it, is that when we went around the ship talking to people if they enjoyed it, they absolutely said yes, but they felt it was a little bit borderline expensive. Not enough to stop them going, but they thought that was the maximum, absolute maximum that they would pay, and they would have liked it a little bit cheaper. And the score we're going to give Indochine, we're going to give it a solid 8. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please do give it a thumbs up, as it lets us know we're on the right track, and you'd like to see more of this sort of material. Next up around the world where we're going, let's head off to the States and the Butcher's Cut, which is their version of a US steakhouse. Before we go into the Butcher's Cut, something to mention, you absolutely should request a table inside, because half of the Butcher's Cut is inside in a nice, elegant, salubrious setting. The other half is outside in the world's noisiest corridor overlooking the Virtuosa Galleria, and you really do not want to be outside because it's going to be far from a relaxing experience. That being said, in we go, let's see what we found.
And tonight we dine at the Butcher's Cut, the select steakhouse on board. And in we go. I smell the meat sizzling before we even get in. It's a very small, little, select, cozy, American-style steakhouse.
Welcome to the restaurant. Hello everyone down there in the video. Welcome to the Butcher Cup. I hope you enjoyed tonight. Let me
Thank you
give the
very
menu
much.
right here, sir.
Thank you. That's a very nice basket of bread.
Thank you.
And we are here under the dining experience package. What that gets you is 3 courses from the menu.
Towards the butter, the yellow butter is made out of Cajun spiced butter. The white butter is a maple smoked butter.
This bread is extremely good. The multigrain has a real nutty depth to it. That is really extremely good. And I do like the different butters. So this is bone marrow
This is bone marrow.
with some croutons.
No, it's bone marrow with caramelized onions. I love marrow. It's a little bit like ossobuco I had the other day. It's so unctuous. Normally, you would never find marrow in a menu.
Nope. And here we have a shrimp cocktail with jalapeno on top with 2 different sauces. It's good. It's not exactly what I was expecting. Basically, it is 5 raw shrimp. They are very, very good shrimp. You've got some nice jalapeno on top. It wasn't quite what I was expecting. I don't know whether I was expecting a traditional salad with it or something else. Basic maybe, but I mean it's fresh, it's good, but maybe a bit basic. How's it going over here? You successfully scraped the marrow off the bone.
Yeah. You know that I like marrow, right? So I will have marrow anyway, and no matter how you serve it. So judging by the way I'm scraping it,
I do like the way you're scraping it.
it's actually very nice because it has this beautiful caramelized onion, a little light, I don't know what is it, I think it's a chimichurri sauce or something.
And can I smell garlic?
Whatever it is, the combination is very, very good.
On to the main course, we have a filet mignon here and a New York sirloin.
There is a big cut of sirloin.
That's 14 ounces of New York sirloin.
Medium for you, sir.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Selection of sauces.
Yes.
Right.
It's sauce right here. You're going to have some roasted cauliflower for you, sir.
Thank you.
Onion rings for you. So for the sauce, we're going to have the chimichurri sauce is actually parsley, cilantro, garlic, extra virgin olive oil, and a little kick of spice with pepper flakes.
The side dishes look quite cute. Roasted cauliflower here and mac and cheese over there. Your filet mignon definitely looks nice and pink. That's definitely medium. How is that?
I haven't had steak in ages, but that's really, really good. The amount of batter.
Is it?
It's good mac and cheese. It's like American mac and cheese.
Is it? How is American mac and cheese?
It's like just, it's more, it's more.
It's just more.
It's just more.
Your sirloin looks absolutely à point, medium, as requested.
Yes, medium.
Now, I've just had a slice of the filet mignon. I have to say, I think out of the 2, the best choice is the filet mignon. That really is exceptionally tasty. Not to say this one is bad, but if I was ordering again, I know it's only 8 ounces as opposed to 14 ounces, but the flavour of that filet mignon is very good. Incoming desserts, what do we have here?
Banana toffee cake. Oh, no, it's banana date
Banana date cake with, is it ice cream on top?
ice cream.
New York cheesecake smothered with, is that strawberries? Some sort of berries. Is that an upside down lava cake for myself? We did actually have lava cake in the main dining room a couple of days ago. So it'd be interesting to compare. You've generously allowed me to try your banana and date cake with it's like a caramel sauce. That is very, very good. It's a good caramel sauce, that. But didn't we have something almost identical to this in the main dining room? There, oozing out chocolate with vanilla ice cream. Very good. Better.
There we go, the butcher's cut. We really enjoyed our evening there. Don't forget to allow at least 2 hours from beginning to end because they call this an experience and they like to pad it out a bit. Make sure you've made an evening of it. Now, what score would we give it? This one is a little bit more subjective because the steak I had, the sirloin, the first one I had to send back because it was too overcooked, but they were very good about it, brought another one out. The filet mignon was juicy, so one out of those 2 steaks was good, the other less so. The starters and desserts, as I mentioned in the video, remarkably similar to what you get in the main dining room. Suspiciously so. I couldn't swear that they're identical, but very similar, which means it's the main course which is different. So you're going there and paying an additional price just for a main course. The score, I'm going to give it 7. Now, I know other people have been there and have given it an 8 or a 9, but for me, I think that's a fair score. Next up, where are we going? The only one left that we haven't been to, it's the Kaito Sushi Bar. Now, it's got great ID, it's got striking orange and black. It looks very nice, but here's the issue. There's 2 parts to this restaurant. There's the teppanyaki, which is inside, and I'll come on to that in a minute, and then you've got the sushi, which is outside, back on that world's noisiest, busiest corridor. And if you're going for the experience package, the teppanyaki, strangely enough, is not included in the experience package. You have to pay for that separately. So on the package, you've only got the sushi. And as you'll go on to see in a minute, we think it's by far the inferior version of the 2 Japanese choices that you have. Let's see how it went for us. And it's not going to be a brilliant review, as you'll see. Let's see what happened.
Now, as for a lot of the alternative dining restaurants on the Virtuosa, they're perched on a balcony on the 7th deck, overlooking the gallery. So for tonight, we are on the Kaito dining experience, now, which gets you a variety of set courses. And to start, we have miso soup, a traditional Japanese starter.
Thank you.
And to start, we have miso soup. Now, this is the problem. This sushi restaurant is in a corridor. And incoming next, course number 2. Okay, what do we have here?
I suggest we don't eat too quickly. 2 miniature shrimp
Yes.
with seaweed and passion fruit dots.
I wonder whether we're going to come away from the meal feeling as though we need to go to the buffet. Now, if occasionally you can't hear us, it's because we're right opposite the teppanyaki there. Hang on, let's go and have a look at what all that racket is. Meanwhile, back out here, where we've got less action, less theatrics, and I fear less food.
4 course, and that's 1. I would say so far it's been pretty underwhelming. With a big U.
We're wishing that we were in there in the teppanyaki. Meantime, on the M25, we're waiting for our next course. Incoming chicken teriyaki.
Teriyaki.
Yes, I think that's the most we can say. Here we are. A sushi and sashimi platter. Oh, I was about to complain that somebody had dropped the plate on the floor, but actually that's part of the design. How strange. You look like you've got a thought on your mind.
If you ask me to sum up tonight's experience, I would say it's miso in a corridor.
That's a good name, actually. Should we call the restaurant that? Miso in a corridor?
Don't come to the Japanese restaurant here. You'll be very, very underwhelmed.
It wasn't anything better than you could get yourself at your corner supermarket or your corner store. It was all just a bit lame.
I think that was one of the worst Japanese I've had in a while.
Can't really add anything to that, can I?
Sit your name.
As you can see, we were a bit damning of it. We were there on the £28 experience package, where you got a few courses. But to be honest with you, the first course, miso soup, it's the most basic form of Japanese food that you can be offered. And the sushi rolls were very similar to what you can get from a supermarket all around the world. So our suggestion is forget the experience, it's just not worth the money. Go in there and order a la carte. You can go in throughout the day, lunchtime, afternoon, evening, and you can order the individual components of that a la carte. And they're generally £9, £10, £11, which is fair enough. That's reasonable value. You'll get your nice sushi roll, your nice sashimi selections, and you're far better off just buying them individually. Because that corridor it was winding me up. It's really very noisy. The whole evening is protracted over 1 or 2 hours, and all the time you're wishing you were in the teppanyaki, which is not on the package. So what would we give Kaito Sushi? And this is for the experience package. We would give that a 6 because we think it's not worth it. If you were to just go in there and order a la carte, that might easily be a 7. So, having now seen those 4 specialty dining restaurants, should you go for the experience package or just pay for them individually? Now, we went for the 4 experience package, which we prepaid before we got on board. That cost us £100. Now, here's the little bonus that MSC are throwing in for you. If you go for the 4 experience package, they throw in for free entry to 1 carousel show. That's their equivalent of the Cirque du Soleil. Those ordinary cost £15 and you're getting it for free, and they give you a free mocktail or cocktail. We went to 2 of the Cirque du Soleil style shows. They're really very good. So if you are thinking you're going to get an experience package and you spring for the 4, why not get a free carousel show? So which of those 4 experience packages should you go for? Well, I think if you're on a 7-night cruise, you're going to be hard pushed to see all 4, so that's going to answer that question. If you're on a 14-night cruise, you are going to have more of a chance, but I wouldn't go to a lot of those, especially on the experience package. Hola Mexican, for example, is only $17.99. You really don't need to buy that as part of the package. That means you don't need the 4 experience package. And then I would say that the Japanese is not worth having in the package. Just buy that separately. So now you're down to 2. So yes, by all means, go for the 2 experience package if you're feeling like trying out some of the specialty dining. I hope that's been of help to you. Now I fully realise that other people could have a totally different opinion. It's just what we thought at the restaurant on the night. Now, in the meantime, we have several other MSC videos coming out over several weeks. Do remember to stay subscribed so you know when those come out. In the meantime, while waiting for those, you can look at some of our videos here, and you can look at some of our videos here. We'll see you in those.